Everything we've learned since Richard Simmons went missing over 3 years ago. Richard Simmons has been out of the public eye for years on end, specifically, since February 15, 2014, and people want answers as to why. Fans around the world, former mentees and even past best friends are concerned about the well-being of the 68-year-old and are growing increasingly frustrated over his mysterious disappearance over 3 years ago. Despite his publicist, Estey, repeatedly attempting to put the ongoing rumors to bed, there's been a resurgence of interest in Simmons since the start of Dan Taberski's popular podcast, Missing Richard Simmons. Taberski, a former regular at the Slimmons dance studio in Los Angeles, documents his journey as he tries to find his friend. The search for answers continues as the podcast unfolds with new, and bizarre, information each week, so let's recap everything we know about the strange circumstances surrounding Simmons' longtime hiatus from the public eye. He ghosted his multi-million-dollar business empire, without any explanation or warning. Simmons didn't show up to teach his beloved Slimmons dance class in mid-February of 2014. The studio manager repeatedly put signs up on the studio door to inform patrons that there wouldn't be classes, but had no reasoning as to why the famous teacher was absent. To this very day, Simmons hasn't returned to the studio he once created and loved. He hasn't released any new DVDs, workouts or fitness-related material since stepping away from the limelight. Additionally, and perhaps eerily, his social media pages are constantly updated with old footage and images of Simmons disguised as present-day posts. In fact, it won't even take you terribly long to find duplicates, photos and quotes on his Facebook and Twitter accounts. And his friends, for many, Simmons was so much more than just fitspiration. In the podcast, Taberski speaks to a number of people around the country who had close connections with Simmons and saw him as a confidant throughout their weight loss journeys. He was hysterical, passionate, raunchy and bedazzled, Taberski mused in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter. Richard built really intense relationships with thousands of people, and he ghosted them all. I think he's a superhero, and, as it turns out, a really complicated one. While many find it easier to accept that Simmons wanted to take a well-deserved break from fame and work, they still are unable to fully digest the fact that he would be okay abandoning his immensely loyal fan base. He's been home this entire time. Perhaps one of the oddest things about this entire situation is the fact that Simmons has been living at his longtime home in Los Angeles, and not hiding out in some underground bunker in the middle of nowhere. Hey, crazier things have happened. So how could someone so public become so private all while living in the hub of Hollywood? Well, Simmons is proof positive that it can be done. He called himself a loner in his last interview. After a few years of concern over his safety, Simmons took it upon himself to speak with Today's Savannah Guthrie in what would be his last public interview to date. The catch? It was all on the phone. Regardless, Simmons explained his absence by telling the daytime host that he sort of wanted to be a little bit of a loner for a little while. He added, I had hurt my knee, and I had some problems with it, and then the other knee started giving me trouble because I've taught like thousands and thousands of classes, and right now I just want to sort of take care of me. Lastly, the famous exercise maven shared that he wanted to stop traveling for work, sharing, it certainly has taken its toll on me. He is not transitioning. In a rare statement made just last summer, Simmons addressed the latest wave of claims about his personal life. Some tabloids have recently falsely reported that I am transitioning. In response, I feel compelled to set the record straight and refute these lies. Although I am not transitioning, I have and always will be supportive of those who are going through their journey, he said in a statement on social media. We should not lose focus on showing love, strength and compassion to all of the LGBT community.